everyone. My name is Oriana. A couple weeks ago, I was working at a tabling event in the FAU Breezeway. I was speaking to a journalist about the dire situation my native country, Venezuela, is going through at the moment. Suddenly, a man approached us, and he rudely interrupted my conversation, and he goes to me, "You want to know why Venezuela is so effed up? Because of the economic sanctions the Trump administration imposed on the Venezuelan government." Now, for those of you who don't know, there's a few things I'm passionate about in this world, and Venezuela fits into that category. I can go on talking about its socioeconomic, political, and humanitarian crisis for hours, days, and weeks, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves because that's not why I'm here today. Now, this man who chose to rudely interrupt my conversation decided to speak over me, completely shutting me off, and then he proceeded in giving me this hand gesture. And that just showed to me how misinformed, rude, and ignorant he was on the subject. And this, my friends, is how civil discourse has been lost and mistreated in today's society and culture. American University best defines civil discourse as an engagement where one understands the other. It should involve citizens gathering to listen to one another in order to reach a common ground and then determine a course of action. However, the problem with today's society is our culture is deeply rooted with issues such as classism, sexism, and among many other differences, racism. As a matter of fact, Anne Bradnan, a civil rights advocate and journalist, stated that the more people are presented with facts that go against their belief on a hot topic, the more they simply want to dig in and believe it more strongly so. So, after everything I've just mentioned and where we stand as a society today, how can we best restore civil discourse in today's culture? Unfortunately, people's opinions on controversial issues are not about to start changing anytime soon, since these are issues that have been ingrained in people's minds for so many generations. However, we can begin by being more open-minded individuals and treating others with respect. Thomas Houlihan, a professor at the University of Southern California, suggested that college campuses begin to invite public figures to discuss diverse topics. That way, it'll help students engage in a civil discourse conversation, and it helps enhance the students' creativity and thinking skills. And that's exactly what we have here at Palm Beach State College. For example, on Martin Luther King Day, the college decided to invite keynote speaker Tim Wise to the Lake Worth campus, where he gave an excellent speech about an issue that is still going on in America and in the world, racism. A couple weeks ago, I attended a feminism discussion panel in the Boca Raton campus, and what I liked specifically about this one was that they had a bunch of student girls talk about women's suffrage issues and going on in today's society and culture. Did I agree with everything they said? Not necessarily, but it did help me engage in a civil discourse conversation. In addition to that, the National Institute for Civil Discourse, which is a nonpartisan organization located in Arizona, basically wants to restore civil discourse between people that have very different political and religious beliefs. And they have created statewide events to where people can go and engage in a small group discussion. To conclude, we must treat others the same way we expect to be treated, with respect. As much as I wanted to go off in that guy in FAU for his ignorance on the critical situation that my native country, Venezuela, is going through at the moment, I chose not to do it, because if there's one thing that I have learned while studying civil discourse, is that it involves two democratic participants gathering and listening to each other and giving that person respect, even when that respect is hard to give or to earn. Thank you so much.